And it's fairly normal for a golfer to kind of like their comfort zone and not like going outside of that.
Yeah.
And we spoke a little bit, haven't we, about trying to get you to break through that comfort zone and do things which are uncomfortable.
Yeah. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Kerrod here today on the golf course at the Forest of Arden with special guest Chris Ryan. Chris, thanks for coming along, my man.
Pleasure, man. Good to see you.
Chris is one of the all-time greatest YouTube golf coaches out there. He's got over 70 million views on his channel, so make sure you go and check him out. But today, Chris and myself, we're going to be working with Joe to improve his golf game, covering all aspects of his swing, elevating his performance without giving him a single technical process-orientated thought. You certainly don't want to miss out on this one. Let's get stuck in.
You say you set up that board, Joe, and I would actually just start off by giving him a little reference before the ball comes in.
Yeah.
So I'd ask you to sort of say, if you had to make a backswing and on the way down hit that tee, sort of, you can go fairly slow at this stage, you don't have to put any speed to it, but what would you sort of do to try and, there you go. And that would be where I'd start really, just to get you to sort of figure it out yourself, you know, create your own feels, create your own awareness of what's happening. So if you do that a couple of times and just...
As you go through that motion there, Joe, let's have a little bit of a follow through as well. Try and blend it into one. Don't need to just stop and hit the tee. Yeah, that's wonderful, mate.
Good.
And again. So I know it feels like a huge exaggeration, but keep going for me. Perfect. And what we'll do for you here, mate, is we'll chuck this one on camera for you. Now, Chris, how would you say that he's going with that exercise there?
I would say he's probably done what I would see most golfers doing. I'm looking at it going, it's better.
Yeah.
I want him to go further. I want you to, I want you to push it further. So I would be then moving that tee kind of further back.
Okay.
So I think a lot of my coaching is with players is just exaggeration management. You know, managing how much they exaggerate it. And it's fairly normal for a golfer to kind of like their comfort zone and not like going outside of that.
Yeah.
And we spoke a little bit, haven't we, about trying to get you to break through that comfort zone and do things which are uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what you're going to face on the golf course. You know, ball above your feet, ball below your feet, you know, awkward lies, awkward situations. So for me, that's kind of what I'd expect. Better, but we could probably take it further.
Okay, great. I want you to move him into position to try and exaggerate that. Once he's done that, then we will put it on film and we're going to show you the differences there, Joe.
So tee's gone further back this way and further back that way. So do me a backswing, you'd feel like you're almost going to hit that tee in your backswing. That's it, all the way to the top. That's it, and then hit the tee on the way down. There you go.
Nice.
More exaggerated. There you go, good.
Perfect. I'm going to get a
So
video
it's just
of
the
that.
same movement, just more exaggerated, just doing it more extreme. Feel horrible?
Yeah.
It always does. But that's the point of change, right? If you're comfortable with what you're doing at the moment, and then you come to a golf lesson, you're still very comfortable as you do it. It just means that you're not exaggerating enough, you're not changing enough. There's a reason you're at this golf lesson in the first place, right? Because you want to change. You want to upgrade what you're doing. And we often hear that with a lot of players. I don't want to do that, it feels uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Well, you're unhappy with your results at the moment. Something's got to change.
Something's got to
us,
change, yeah.
right? So let's have a look at the differences here, just from this little simple outcome drill that Chris has got you working on there. And just as a basic reference, what we're going to do, okay, so get down into this club shaft, parallel position here, and then also over here. Now, we've fast forward to this stage of the golf swing. I'm sure you watch a little bit of golf on TV, right?
Yeah.
And you would generally see the majority of PGA professionals and your favorite golfers, they would tend to err on the side of this line here, right? Rather than what you would see over here on left hand, which is there. But then let's rewind and let's see the movement of the backswing, right? So as you'll see over here on the left hand side, the golf club picks up and around. Now, we didn't tell you to do really anything different with the shape of your golf swing there, right?
Right.
Not as in swing it more around or feel anything like that. We just gave you a simple outcome drill of trying to hit a tee behind you, and look at the difference in the direction those arms are moving straight off the bat. Now then, as we continue to the top, how would you say that face looks there, Chris? Pretty good?
Strong.
Yeah, it looks nice and strong. You can see a huge aesthetic difference at the top.
Definitely, yeah.
And things have shortened up a little bit as well. So certainly not as long. You don't look like you're trying to strangle yourself as much. You can breathe better as you play golf. That's nice. And then on the way down, look at that. The golf club's coming way underneath. There's a beautiful exaggeration coming through and moving out towards the target versus chop suey over here on the left-hand side and across, okay? So you've demonstrated this, you've done it in your practice swing, which is great. Now you've got the visual feedback to see that you can actually do it. Must be exciting to be able to see that. Now let's put it into effect with a golf ball. Okay. And we're going to run through the process of how you would do that. A couple of dry drills, slow rehearsals, meaning that you're going to do it without a ball, trying to recreate the same feeling. Okay. And then we're going to introduce a ball at a slow speed, and we're going to get you doing the same thing, okay?
Yeah, brilliant. Sounds
All right,
good.
let's see it.
So go and get yourself set up as if the ball is there. Okay. So this time you're going to be going backswing. That's it. And then literally trying to just clip that tee peg on the way down. Okay. Now this is your time to kind of self-organize, you know, figuring out your own feels on this. You know, we're creating a scenario here and we've seen how it's changed it, but it's you now to think about, okay, that's what feels different. That's how I'm doing it. You know, trying to, I call it deep practice rather than just kind of swing, 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 trying to think about, okay, that feels different in my left arm, in my right arm, in my delivery, because you're going to come on the golf course at some point, you haven't got a video camera or a mirror, you've just got those feels that you created in practice. Yeah. So, you know, we can advise and we can say things like, it's probably going to feel like X, Y, Z, but you're going to have your own interpretation of that.
Yeah. That's a great point that Chris makes there, is that everyone's sensation, you ask Chris and me to do the same exercise such as this, we're going to feel it slightly different. Might be in the arm, might be in the movement. So that's where outcome-based stuff such as that tee down on the ground is just perfect, because it's giving you a pure goal of achieving. And it doesn't matter who you are and where you're from and your size and your shape and your experience. Essentially, the goal is to get the club feeling like it's going to pass over that tee there. Right. So let's tee him up one.
Going to hit one, ball back?
Yeah.
Okay, so you get yourself set up. So if that is where you would normally tee it from, we're going to go back and in. There you go, perfect. Okay, I'm going to tee it relatively high at this stage.
And Chris, let's just talk about the purpose of teeing it high. And a lot of players would look at that and go, well, that's not what I'm going to do on the golf course. Why would I do that there?
So this is, so where that ball is and where Joe's going to hit it is not what he would do on the golf course. Correct. It's we're just saying, right, we're trying to create a feel, we're trying to change the pattern, so just make it easier. Yeah. Just peg it up, make it a little easier, because we want, you know, we don't want you to be really misstriking these, because you were already putting you out your comfort zone. If they start to miss the middle more, it makes you feel worse. We're just trying to say, we're putting you way outside your comfort zone. Teeing up just brings you back a little bit more to an area that's a little bit more comfortable.
So just think about it like training wheels. Do you surf, Joe?
I do not know.
Okay, so you're in England here, Kerrod.
Yeah, exactly. If you were cold in no ways. If you were going to learn how to surf, right, you wouldn't just jump straight out the back on the unbroken waves and try and ride down the face, okay? Yeah. Because you don't even know how to stand up. So when you learn how to surf, the board's on the ground in the sand, and then you learn how to stand up on the sand before you even get in the water.
Oh, okay.
If you try and fast forward too quickly, because you haven't learned the baseline skills and balance and foot position, it just makes it incredibly difficult. And far too many golfers, Chris, don't they try and skip a couple of steps because they want to get to this outcome, the instant gratification, but it's actually the initial drills and doing things such as teeing the ball up, which actually helps expedite that process in the long run. So you don't have to circle back all the time. Yeah. So set up to where you were.
So normal setup is there. That's it. And then you should be able to just raise the club, move it back. It should be about there. Okay, I'm just going to move that ball a tiny bit further away.
Perfect.
Okay. Now this ball should probably go
there. So we'll just give you a reiteration of the feeling, right? So you're going and really just focusing right at that point there, okay? So you can just start off with a little huff.
Okay.
Good job, mate.
Kind of, that's what I expect.
Okay.
Good.
And again, let's do it once more. So set up there first, right? Just relax your arms a little bit for me, bud. Okay, so the feeling, same sensation. Relax those wrists for me. Good. Off you go. There you go. Now how'd the contact on that feel off the face?
It felt good.
Felt different, right?
Yeah.
And like visually, the swing was so much more in the direction that Chris and me were trying to get you, right? The club obviously comes down on more of a descending angle of attack because the ball's further back. And it went right exactly as Chris was explaining that it would before. Now, what would happen is the more that you do this swing and this drill sequence, you start to groove a feeling and a sensation of what it's like for that to be your normal motion. Now, all the hard work that Chris has done before, and we can see the dots on your glove there, is just giving you an understanding of controlling that club face a lot better throughout the motion.
Yeah.
Anything you'd add to that?
No, it's good. I mean, I think with any drills like this, it's just important to make the student aware of what's going to happen, because
Correct.
it's easy for him to look at that and go, well, that's no better.
Yeah.
But this is a drill, this is a, and as long as we explain that this ball is going to go right, and when you see that, you can give yourself a mental tick, okay, I'm on the right lines, because, if you don't explain that, and it's all easy to go, well, a drill surely makes me hit it better, why they're not going straight? But there's a process to sort of going, well, what we're doing now isn't what we'd send you to the course with, it's just the first step in that process.
Yeah, perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to move the ball back into its normal position, but you're going to have some rehearsal swings getting the same feeling as you were from the drill. What I want you to do is I want you to make some swings, and your objective is to hit the ground, but you're going to get the same feeling that the club's going to come over that tee for me. Perfect. And again.
Nice.
Wonderful. Great. So how does that look from your angle there, Chris? He's
Much better.
getting enough
Much
around? Better. Okay, perfect, mate. So we're going to tee this one up, but you'll get the normal ball position. I want you to recreate that same feel for me, mate. Off you go. Really try and focus on the bottom of the tee. Off you go.
It's close.
Close. Okay. Off you go.
Really
All
close.
right.
Really close.
Yeah.
I mean, swing shape is much better there.
Yeah,
much better.
Absolutely. You can see that probably a wildly different feel, and it actually went pretty straight. Now, the sensation that you probably had there, you probably thought the ball was going to go
Yeah, definitely.
sail over there, or maybe even into me. So with your golf swing here, you just needed a little bit more of an around motion just to make your downswing easy. And Chris has just given you a great drill there just to work on something very easy that you can now know that you can go down to the range. And essentially you just need to put a tee towards your back foot, a little bit more in, make some practice swings, try and hit that tee over and over and over again. And then from there, after you've done that, put the ball back into its normal position and just recreate that feel. Before you know it, those arms will be working around and you'll be well on your way. All right, nice work, good job.